Hi, welcome to all of Peggy and you. Thank you so much for the last video, for those that have subscribed to my YouTube channel, for those that liked, and for those that also share. I really and truly appreciate you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. Thank you. And ensure to also share too. For those that haven't shared, you don't just want to enjoy or learn alone, you also want to share with your friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do click on the subscribe button as you're watching right now, and drop your comment. If you have any topic that in mind or any comment you want to drop, please ensure to do that, and definitely I will reply you guys for the topic that you want us to talk about. Like I said before, if I cannot answer your questions or I cannot talk about it, I have no idea, I would definitely look for someone that would join me on the section and I will reply you guys. It's a safe place, so ensure to drop those topics and also comment. And if you can't put it on the comment section, you can send it directly to my email and I will definitely review it. So we'll be talking, for those that, before I talk about today's topic and jump into that, for those that don't know me, my name is Peggy Osifo. My journey from Africa to Canada. Initially, I didn't have it in mind of leaving the country because I was a little bit of a daddy's girl. So I never believed that my dad would be in support of me leaving home. And during 2014, for those that don't know the Nigeria educational system, so we have a system called the NYSC, so which is the National Youth Service Corps. After your undergrad, you have to serve the country for 1 year, and they will place you in wherever organization or states they want to send you to. Mine was back in my state and even at the school where I did my undergrad. So in around July 2014, I was having a conversation with my brother, and we came up with the idea of like, okay, I do really want to leave home, but which of the country? Initially I had to go to Europe. That was what I had in mind. And he was like, because he was already here, was like, why don't you come to Canada? So that was how I started sourcing for school to come to Canada. And before searching for schools, I spoke to my dad about it, and he said no, he wasn't in support. Why don't I do my master's degree back in Nigeria? There are so many schools there, and why do I want to leave the country? Had thought about it and went ahead, but I didn't agree to it. So I went ahead and searched for agency that could assist me with the applications and also with the visa application. After talking to them, I think they were trying to bill me for like 400,000, and I didn't have that. I did have that, but I didn't want to put everything in my account, my savings there to do that. So I went back to my dad and I was like, okay, look at what I found out. And he said again, I'm not asking you to leave the country. I'm not sending you anywhere, so I won't be funding it. If you really want to leave, you have to fund it yourself. It was just a way to make sure that I don't leave, just to force me to stay back home. And after thinking about it, I was like, okay. So I started searching for the school myself, and I wanted to do the process myself. So I went into the Canada Immigration Center, which is the website, and started researching everything I could lay my, like I was searching for every information that I could use to submit the application and also for the visa processing. Then while applying to some school, my friend came to school because she was also serving in Benin then. She came to school, I think for some document, and we met again, and I told her what I had in mind or what I was trying to do, and she was like, oh, she's actually going to Canada, and her school was in Ottawa, and this is the school. if I could apply to it. I never can tell, and we'll be together. So we're so excited together. After talking about it, I went back and I applied to the school, which was Carlton. I applied, and it was very, very fast, because then we met around, I think, August or so, maybe mid of August. And I submitted the application. After submitting the application, around 2 to 3 weeks, they replied me, and I told her we were both excited, we were going to be together. So because she was already prepared to leave around I think the last week of August to resume September. Then I applied to winter term, which was January, and I told her, oh, I've been accepted. And that was how the whole process started. And the visa application, I told my dad, oh, I've gotten admission, and he was pretty much very surprised, and he pressed me again, but me funding myself. And I spoke to him, and we agreed that he'll pay the first school fees, then I can fund myself with the other part of the fees, just to make sure that, oh, maybe I'll get discouraged and then I won't go ahead with the whole process. But no, I was ready for it. I even spoke to my brother about what my dad said. My brother was just encouraging me and giving me so much encouragement, while his own school fees was being paid by my parents though. But then I went ahead, submitted the visa application, which was quite fast though. I submitted my visa application in October. Yeah, I think in October, and it all came out. The visa, the medicals, everything was done, and the visa was approved in December. I think a few days to Christmas, that's when it was approved. And I was so much excited. My Christmas was complete, and got a ticket, and that was how I moved to Canada. I think I arrived in Canada January 13th 2015, and the school process started. Because I already put it in my mind, it was already placed in my head that, yeah, babe, you're going to pay your fees, so be ready. And my savings back home wasn't enough to pay the fees, so definitely that was just a change. So after I arrived, resumed school, I was in economics. I found out that economics was tough at that time because my background was in accounting. Never had any strong economics background. Then doing the masters, it was pretty tough for me. And after looking at it, I was like, babe, spoke the truth to myself. Like, if I have to do this, I won't have to work. And I have to work to pay my fees. So for that, so I started thinking about it. Then I spoke to my course supervisor, and we came to just telling her that, oh, I'm not sure if I could keep up with this course. Then I spoke to her, and I searched for other courses and looked through my educational documents, and that was how I applied to management engineering. It was more of just articles and presentation, research, and all that. So, and I could have time. I have time to do that at least. Just a lot of research, anyways. Then that was how I transferred. But before I could transfer to the engineering department, the time was already gone because the exam was too close, so they didn't accept me. They had to put me to 2015 4 section. So but they were so kind to me that they transferred the school fees to 4, and I was super excited. During that time, I went back to Toronto, and I did Uber. I did some jobs. I did some factory job just to put the money together, and I came back to school, and I did the fall term and the winter term, and I was stranded again because I paid the fees. My school fees was quite big. I think then it was around almost 9,000 something. I can't remember, but it wasn't up to 10,000. So I paid my fees because international school fees is quite high. And after that time, I took time off again. I went to Toronto. I didn't do the summer term. I went back to Toronto. That was then now 2016. Um, Fall, I was supposed to come back, but I did not. I think I didn't make enough money. Then I came back 2017 winter. I was supposed to do the 2017 winter and fall, then graduate. Then when I came back, I was really low on cash, and it was really hard for me. And that was how I started. I was still working, doing Uber, because when I'm in school, I'm not able to do a lot of job. It's just part-time, and it wasn't enough. So I later found out that I have to, there are some fundings that we are available, and I applied for it. When I applied for it, I think I applied for like 5 different ones, and I got 2 of it that was put towards my school fees for the 2017 fall term. And that was supposed to be the last one. I was so excited about it. So I'm just going to talk about this. When you're applying to schools abroad and you are going to fund yourself, or you don't have enough resources to put yourself through school, there's something you can do. There's so much funding out there. There's so many scholarship out there. You either apply for scholarship when you're applying, doing the application for the initial time when you want to apply to schools, or immediately you get the admission, you can also apply for. There's still so many scholarship and funding that you can actually apply for. So if you know that you want to apply to schools abroad with assistance for funding, you can actually do that. And my brother is currently an immigration consultant, and if you have any question in mind that you want me to respond to, please drop it on the comment section, or you can send it directly to my email, and I'll be responding to you guys, giving you guys some resources on how to apply to schools, and without stress. You just go to school without paying anything. If I had knew, I would have applied for that, but I never had those information. I didn't have information, so I had to fund myself. And at the time I got to know about that, and that really came up, and it did help. So thank you all. I'll be seeing you guys next week, and I'll be telling you guys how I bought my house. So, and also please ensure to share this video, subscribe. The subscribe button just there, you just have to click on it. It won't take anything from you. And also like. Thank you guys, and see you guys next week. Bye.